What if a single, invisible statistic fundamentally transformed how we understand the world's most popular sport? What if it could expose the luck behind Leicester City's miracle season, predict Liverpool's dominance years before they won a trophy, and save billion-dollar clubs from foolish transfer decisions? Welcome to the story of expected goals, the metric that forced football to change. For over a century, football analysis was deceptively simple. Goals won games, shots on target were important, and possession was king. But these statistics were merely a record of what happened, not an explanation of why it happened, or whether it was repeatable. Consider two simple examples. A striker who scores a 3-meter tap-in, and another one who rifles in a 30-meter strike. Traditional stats record both as one goal, yet every fan knows the difference. One finish was practically inevitable. The other one was an improbable moment of magic. If both players took the same shot 100 times, the result would be radically different. This fundamental flaw, the failure to measure chance quality, was the problem expected goals was designed to solve. Expected goals wasn't invented on the terraces. It emerged from data labs and academic papers in the early 2000s. The revolutionary question analysts asked was, what is the likelihood of this specific shot resulting in a goal? The methodology was simple, yet brilliant. Analysts compiled massive datasets of thousands, then millions of shots from real matches. They recorded every defining feature, the distance from goal, the angle to the goal, the body part used, the type of play, the pressure from defenders. Using machine learning to analyze these factors, they assigned a probability score from 0 to 1. A penalty is typically 0.79 xg. A long-range effort with traffic might be 0.03 expected goal. This score measures the chance quality. By the mid-2010s, with companies like Opta and StatsBomb refining the models, expected goals was ready to challenge the status quo. The 2015-16 Premier League season gave us the ultimate fairy tale. Leicester City, 5,000 to 1 outsiders, lifting the trophy. While commentators spoke of destiny and magic, expected goal offered a colder, clearer diagnosis. Leicester City's expected goal difference, the gap between the quality of chances they created and those they conceded, indicated they were statistically performing like a mid-table team, while their keeper Kasper Schmeichel was overperforming expected saves. Expected goal didn't diminish their achievement, it explained its rarity. It predicted the dramatic regression to the mean that followed. The magic faded, not due to a lack of effort, but because football is a game of probabilities, and luck tends to even out. XG taught us to separate the process from the outcome. Smart clubs quickly realized XG's predictive power. Conversely, expected goal helped smart clubs avoid expensive transfer mistakes. Players scoring from low-quality chances, high goal, low XG, were easily identified as being on an unsustainably hot streak, saving clubs from massive overpays. XG became the ultimate tool for scouting genuinely elite finishing. Players who consistently exceed their expected goal season after season. The emergence of expected goals as a mainstream metric marked a significant shift in how football is analyzed and understood. The metric moved beyond the analytics community and prompted renewed examination of its strengths and limitations. Teams like Burnley under Sean Dyche demonstrated how tactical approaches could challenge expected goals predictions, with Dyche explaining their defensive strategy was designed to force opponents into positions that were statistically and empirically more difficult to score from. This sparked deeper investigation into what expected goal models might be missing, such as the number of defenders between shooter and goal or defensive pressure intensity. The debate around expected goals' predictive power, especially when teams consistently over or underperformed their expected totals, helped establish advanced metrics as essential tools for understanding team performance beyond traditional statistics. Rather than undermining XG, these discussions refined the metric and highlighted how data-driven analysis was fundamentally changing football's strategic landscape. XG didn't just change scouting, it revolutionized tactics on the pitch. Long-range shots declined. XG confirmed that shots from outside the box are almost always poor decisions, leading to a tactical shift toward creating space in the penalty area. Possession was devalued. The metric showed that possession for possession's sake, without a corresponding increase in XG creation, was meaningless. Pressing was validated. Winning the ball high up the pitch, near the opponent's goal, generates high XG chances, validating the aggressive pressing strategies of managers like Klopp and Pep Guardiola. Managers began optimizing for expected goal value rather than the simple act of taking a shot. Traditionalists initially dismissed XG. Football isn't played on a spreadsheet. Some criticism was fair. Early models failed to account for factors like defensive pressure and goalkeeper position. However, the metric hasn't been abandoned, it has been refined. Modern XG models now incorporate tracking data, analyzing the position of every player to calculate the true openness of a chance. Post-shot XG, a metric that factors in where the shot was placed after the ball leaves the foot, evaluating the save difficulty for the keeper. XG chain, metrics that credit the players involved in the entire sequence leading up to the shot, not just the final pass. The legacy, expected goals, has forever changed the narrative of football. It compels us to separate the signal from the noise and skill from randomness. It allows us to appreciate why a team is truly great rather than simply reacting to the scoreboard. XG didn't ruin the romance of football, it deepened our appreciation for the process, the precision, and the teams who defy probability with consistent, repeatable excellence. It is here to stay, and football will never be the same.